Master Lot-Ionan, Frala told me you wished to speak with me.
Ah, Tungdil, come in. There is a bag over there in the cupboard. Take it out, please. It contains artifacts belonging to my former famulus Goren. I wish to return them to him. He's in Blacksaddle, 300 miles away.
300 miles? That's a long journey. Who are you going to entrust with this?
I was thinking of you.
Me?
There is no one better to take on this journey. You have acquired much knowledge. You are almost a scholar. You know more than most famuli about Girdlegard and its inhabitants. It is time for you to go out into the world and see it with your own eyes.
With pleasure.
Two little things. All the characters look plastic. And the frame rate drops weirdly at times. What's in the pouch?
What's in the bag?
Magical devices.
That-
You better leave the
that
bag
fits.
closed if you want to avoid any accidents. Dwarves don't really like magic, and magic doesn't like you either.
Rakus gave us so much craftsmanship that there's no space left in our bodies for magic.
Strictly speaking, every time you've been too close to magic, it has ended in catastrophe.
I had to look at this dwarf though. What was his name again? Long Tongue? I can't remember. Maybe I'll meet other dwarves.
Perhaps I'll meet some dwarves on my travels.
Yes, perhaps. But don't hold out too much hope. And be careful who you talk to. Not everyone out there likes dwarves.
Yeah, goblins. They abduct baby dwarves and sell them to magi, from what I've heard.
Not the best bit of business I've ever done. But what was I to do? The Longnoses threatened to throw you into the nearest river.
I'll set off soon.
Be on your guard. Look after the bag and don't lose it. May Palandiel be with you. And Vrakas too, of course.
I'll set off immediately. I'll see you soon, Lot-Ionan.
Look! Frame drop. What the fuck? I mean, the game runs between 30 and 40 frames. And in the cutscenes, it just sort of randomly drops to like 15 to 20.
Just as you reach the door, your stomach rumbles. It's not even noon yet, and you think you're going to survive a 300-mile journey without provisions.
I have 4 provisions on me, don't I? Yeah, I have 4 provisions. Alright, let's go back. Let's get some food. What's this? Check the cradle.
I am your godfather, little one. I'll look after you just like I looked after your mother.
Little Akana grasps your calloused finger and smiles at you wide-eyed.
Ah. Let's look at dinner
The
again.
goulash is bubbling.
Okay, it's not a Frala. Give me some provisions, woman.
Hello, Frala.
Hmm?
Any provisions? For
I need
300
provisions
miles.
for 300 miles.
You're grinning from ear to ear. Finally, you've got the chance to see something of the world.
300? Tungdil, that's no errand. That's an epic journey. Wait, I've got just the right thing. But make sure the cook doesn't see.
I'm going to Blacksaddle to return a few things to a former apprentice in Amagus.
You pocket the rye bread, sausages, and ham. Enough food for the first few days of your journey.
Sausages and ham. Perhaps I might
Perhaps I'll
see
even
some
meet
dwarves.
some dwarves on the way.
Frala throws you a cautious glance. It's a tricky subject that you can't help but broach.
There aren't dwarves down here. You're the only one in Idaslane, as far as we know.
I know, but I can't just have been born out of a rock. Somewhere in the mountains, I have a clan. Maybe even a family.
Yes. Maybe.
Frala has reminded you more than once that Lot-Ionan wrote to the dwarf clans, and none of them were missing a dwarf boy.
I got a present for you.
I've got a present for you.
You take out a symbol of protection that you've carefully made from 3 horseshoe nails.
It's not the finest jewellery in Girdlegard,
One look at Frala's face makes it clear that it doesn't matter. She glows with happiness as she takes the pendant.
For me? But why?
Because you don't see me as an oddity, and you're like a little sister to me.
You could have said, but you settle with a shrug and a crooked smile.
I have to go. I've got a long journey ahead of me.
I wish you the blessing of Palandial and Vracus to protect you from all danger on your journey. Here, a talisman. Whenever you look at it, think of me.
Frala winks at you mischievously.
And of getting me a nice present.
Nice. Have these on or something? You have equipment plate. Great equipment and stuff, or is it just gonna be one of them games? I get nothing. Right, let's go on our journey. The Girdle Guard. Girdle Guard. What a name.
How
fat man.
nice to see you again, Lot-Ionan.
Ah!
It must have been an age since we last met face to face.
Nudin, welcome. Please, sit down.
No, thank you, my friend. These are urgent matters, and I don't have much time. You must come to Leos Nudin immediately. The perished land is stirring.
Are you sure? What makes you think that?
I found out about 60 orbits ago, during a visit to the borders. Our magical barriers have weakened and become porous. The Elfar have left their land, and a huge horde of orcs have marched into Girdlegard.
Were you able to strengthen the spell with your magic?
No, I can't repair the damage alone. We need the combined power of the 6. The other 4 are already on their way here, but we need your help too.
I will set off for Parista without delay.
Oh, and as you're coming, could you also take the opportunity to bring back the things that I lent to you?
Of course. I have them already packed in a bag.
Oh, thank you. We'll be expecting you.
Very suspicious. I don't like this nudist. I don't like this at all. Don't like him at all.
Utterly blinded by the sunlight, you squeeze your eyes tightly shut after only a few steps. The time spent underground has made you so sensitive to light that you're forced to seek shelter in the shade of a mighty oak. You reach a small lake by a birchwood. Your feet hurt and your eyes still sting in the unaccustomed sunlight, but a smile spreads across your face nonetheless. You've covered a decent distance on the first day of your big journey. You pitch your camp and lie down to sleep on the hard forest floor. When you awake in the morning, your legs are stiff and achy. Trying not to feel sorry for yourself, you throw your rucksack over your shoulder. You're a dwarf, and dwarves don't complain.
Sure about that. God, this fog's a lot. Get out the way. Can't see. I want to go. Oh, I'll just question mark. So this way.
Around midday, with the sun high in the sky and the first beads of sweat appearing on your forehead, you see something move next to the road, a few hundred meters ahead. Some crows are pecking at something in the long grass.
Walk further.
When you see the blood on the ground, you try to convince yourself it's from an animal that just happened to be killed on the road by a hunter. You know this is improbable. and your hope disappears completely when you see two human bodies lying in the flattened grass.
Two, huh?
You don't see any signs of a struggle in the area where the corpses are lying. Were they stabbed by a companion? A stranger could hardly have crept up on them with such sparse cover.
Oh, they're here. Right, okay, I can see them.
You look down on a tall, broadly built man. He's wearing dark brown leather armor that is strengthened with iron plates. There's a sword lying next to him. Was he trying to defend himself against something? Or someone? There is no blood on the sword.
Interesting.
A rucksack that probably belonged to one of the dead. It seems to have been searched and then thrown away carelessly.
Search through the rucksack.
You find a few implements, some provisions, and a map. A route is drawn on it from Parista, Nudin's capital, to Lot-Ionan's vaults.
Interesting. At least we got more provisions. Alright, let's move on.
You scour the area once more and ask yourself what to do next.
Look for more clues. Let's just... if there is any anywhere. Oh wait, there's another one there. I didn't even see that one.
A slender man lies in front of you, dressed in an expensive robe. It is in the colours of Turgur the Fair-Faced, one of the 6 magi. The dead man must be one of Turgur's famuli. You don't see any wounds.
Does this mean that Turgur the Fair-Faced is in Parista and wanted to send Lot-Ionan a message? And if so, why didn't he use magic? Did he want to contact him without anyone noticing? Why all this secrecy?
Yes, indeed.
Nothing. Nothing again.
You halt. There is something.
Another rucksack?
That's right.
You open the rucksack and recognize that someone has already rummaged through it.
God damn it.
As well as some implements and writing utensils, you find a pouch full of gold and a talisman. The gold is proof that this is not a case of robbery.
Take the gold. And the talisman.
Warmth and a feeling of security flush through your body as you touch the talisman. You feel safer just holding it in your hand.
I'm taking you with me.
Is there anything else? Oh, I didn't know if we can do that. Doesn't seem to be anything else. Alright, let's continue. Bury the
You
bodies.
scour the area once more and ask yourself what to do next.
Bury the bodies. It's the right thing to do.
It's time-consuming and strenuous work digging shallow graves in the ground with a stick and covering the corpses with a few stones. But it should at least keep the crows from their feasting for a while. You continue on your way so as to put a few more miles between you and your grisly find before night falls.
Go this way. What's this? It's probably a caravan.
You see a flickering light through the trees some way from the path. It might come from a campfire.
Sneak close.
You
Find
creep
out.
through the undergrowth towards the fire, but can't prevent your armor from clattering and small twigs from breaking under every heavy step you take. You curse quietly to yourself, but go on until you can see what's going on. 3 broad-shouldered men with axes sit at a campfire, on which 2 rabbits are sizzling. It's only thanks to the fact that the men are joking loudly with one another and not paying attention to their surroundings that they haven't discovered you yet. Once you reach the edge of the firelight, you say amicably,
Greetings. My name is...
The men jump up and grab their axes.
Who's there?
Well, I'll be. Is that a groundling?
The men look you over suspiciously.
Yeah, I knew this was going to happen or something. I'm a traveller. I would have nothing against a warm fire and some company.
My name is Tungdil. I'm only a traveller who would have nothing against a warm fire and some company.
A groundling wants our company.
We are honest, hard-working men. Why would we have anything to do with groundlings? Be off with you.
The man strengthens his grip on the axe and passes his tongue over his yellowed teeth while keeping you in his sights.
Alright,
You
I'll
shrug
go.
your shoulders indifferently and take 3 small steps backwards without taking your eyes off the men.
All right, if I'm not welcome here, then I'll go.
Good. And don't even think about coming back to stab us in the back or steal from us. We'll keep guard. There's nothing here for groundling scum.
Yeah, I'm not a thief. Certainly no murderer.
Your heart is pounding, and you confront the man a little more courageously than you feel.
I'm no thief, and I'm certainly no murderer. I only wanted to see if...
Pah! All groundlings are thieves and good-for-nothings.
You find it difficult to take control of your voice again.
Have you met many dwarves?
Enough to know that you're all dirty thieves.
That's a lie. Don't use my axe for chopping down trees. I think I went the wrong way. I don't want to fight.
Now consider this. I am a dwarf with an axe, and I don't use my axe for cutting down trees.
The men are visibly unsettled and lower their axes a little.
Good.
I thought so.
You turn your back on the men and walk back to the path confidently. You don't hear any steps behind you, and only once you've put distance between you do you dare look back over your shoulder. None of the men have followed you. You sigh with relief. It could have ended up a very painful experience if you'd provoked the men or shown them any weakness.
Yeah. Are these cities or something? I'm gonna go look. Let's find out. This.
As the gable end of a small farmhouse and a barn appear from behind a hilltop, you hear the loud cries of children at play. A girl runs along the path laughing, followed by a small boy with a big stick in his hand. The boy is trying to catch up his sister with a determined look on his face, but is finding it difficult to keep his short legs under control on the uneven path. You walk towards the children.
Let's be nice.
As you raise your hand to greet them, the boy catches sight of you. His eyes grow wide, and he points to you with a chubby little finger. All he can manage to say is, "There." Now the girl has turned to face you too. Before you can say a word, she lifts her little brother up into her arms and runs screaming towards the farmhouse.
I think I'm getting a picture of what happened at Girdlegard. Take a
You
wide
don't
berth.
wish to scare the children further, so you continue on your journey.
Right. Let's go this way.
You look down on a large village on the banks of the Warder. Some of the village is built on stilts in the river. A wooden bridge spans the fast-flowing water. A huge wooden palisade has been erected to protect the village from attack.
Follow the path down to the gate.
The guards on the palisade are watching you. Their armor looks well cared for and well made. The smith who made them knew what he was doing. You conclude that the men depend on the protection the armor offers and aren't just wearing them to look good. They're certainly not villagers.
So yeah, basically I'm guessing that after the death of the Dwarves and Girdlegard, they've become slaves, in a way, and basically have turned evil. And everyone doesn't trust Dwarves these days because of it.
There are small fires burning every 50 steps or so. They are intended to light up the area in front of the palisade in the night, so that orcs can't creep up to within an arrow's reach without being seen.
Smart. Into the gate.
The double gate is made of strong planks, sturdy but still much less solid than the fixed parts of the palisade. Security has been forgone here for practical reasons. Never a good idea when building fortifications. The double gate...
Excuse me.
Some of the guards begin to whisper as you near the gate.
Hello up there! What brings you to fair good water? And have you seen any orcs on your travels, groundling?
The man leaning over the palisade eyes you up and down carefully.
I'm a dwarf. No, can't demand. Spend the night under the stairs. Lose me in.
Goodwater is well known for its hospitality.
A fact that you've just made up yourself.
Let me in, and I will tell other travellers all about it.
I regret to inform you that we cannot allow you to enter. The gates stayed closed once night has fallen.
There is certainly no regret showing in the man's face.
Got some interesting Oh, you've got some interesting decorations up there. Gate doesn't make a very stable impression. I could take a look at it. Well, I could... Yeah,
I'm a
do that.
blacksmith and a dwarf. Let me tell you, your gate might look solid, but it won't withstand a real orc assault.
The murmuring all around him makes the man pause for a moment. If anyone else had criticized the stronghold, they'd have been laughed down and shooed away. But no one understands defense systems like the dwarves.
Yeah.
A dwarf blacksmith who just happens to be standing in front of our gate?
Well, I'm a fairy, but I haven't read about it. Of course, I'm responsible for the defense of the high pass of the Blue Range. Yeah.
That's right.
Love our way through it.
I can see to it that orcs crack open their skulls on your gate, just like at home on the high pass. Skulls that add up to hard cash for you.
You only know about the secondling stronghold from books, but you can see in the man's face you've pushed the right buttons.
All right, then. You can spend the night in the village. You begin work tomorrow morning, and it had better work like you promised.
Of course. It's a trifle.
It's a trifle.
After a meal, you spend the night in the comfort and shelter of a Goodwater tavern. The next morning, you feel fully refreshed. You strengthen the gate with cross braces of wood and iron, using your experience and skill. Now it should be able to withstand an attack for much longer. Mercenaries and villagers alike watch you work, clearly impressed. As you finish, a man approaches you.
Well done, dwarf. We were right to bring you into our village.
The village grew rich through bridge tolls, and this wealth must be defended.
Gate is reinforced as promised. Now I need to go. I've got a long journey ahead of me. What pleases you? I have nothing against payment for it. Do that one.
You're proud of what you've achieved in such a short time. You've even invested more time than was wise.
I was happy to help. But half the day is lost, and I must be on my way.
A strong dwarf like you will always be welcome here in Goodwater. Be careful out there. Who knows where the orcs might be lurking?
Right then.